today, Domtila as well as Tony Mwebia. Asanteni sana for joining us on this broadcast. One thing, Domtila, you are in West Pokot as we speak. How is it going? Where are we at?
Hi, Jeremiah. Thank you so much. What I can say about West Pokot is it's not good news. We have rampant cases of FGM taking place. And this is why I was trying to reach out to a few people and trying to raise my voice, because I'm receiving several cases coming from the villages of FGM happening in different parts of West Pokot, across the entire county. Every single day I receive not less than 2 phone calls and cases being reported that girls are being cut in numbers.
All right.
Girls, we have cases recording cases over 200.
All right.
10 cases per village. It's worrying.
All right, Tony, welcome to the show. You work on a national scale, and it's important that we are able to address this so that we know exactly how to reach out to relevant authorities in that regard. Men FGM, of course, is where you're representing in this case. So, karibu to this show. Today, you're focusing on West Pokot. Domtila, I just request you to give us a small breakdown. Where are we at? What's the problem?
Thank you, Jeremiah. Once again, I would like to report that West Pokot County is currently experiencing mass cutting of girls.
All right.
Undergoing female genital mutilation across the entire county. And what I can quote is we have in every sub-county, we have 4 sub-counties in West Pokot. We have every sub-county, each of the sub-counties reporting cases or recording cases of FGM in large numbers. That is why I say it's a worrying issue, and it's an issue of concern. It began with a few cases of 2 or 3 girls, then it escalated to a bigger number. So I can say from the last 2 weeks, my phone has not rested. Because I work very closely with the community, and I went ahead after coronavirus outbreak. I shared my personal contacts with the community through radios and other forums, and I gave, even on social media pages, I gave out my number. So I'm getting phone calls even at the middle of the night, people calling out that such areas are experiencing FGM cases. So it, like I said, it began with 2 girls, 3 girls, 2 people being arrested, circumcised being arrested, and then others being arraigned in court. And then from last week, towards the end of last week, I received information from a place called Tapach Ward. Tapach Ward is in West South Pokot sub-county. So I got information from some people who came from the village, and they are drivers, taxi drivers or matatu drivers. So they called me. They got my number from one of the radio stations. They called me, and I went to meet them. So they were bringing information from their villages. We had an interview, recorded interview with them, and they informed me that there is mass cutting happening in Tapach Ward. All right. And specifically, Kamele. Kamele is an area also which is experiencing insecurity issues because it's on the border of Pokot and Marakwet. So, and going down again to the locations, they told me that is in it's called Kapushen. It's still in Tapach Ward. So it's like going down to the villages. So they were giving me a list of the areas that FGM has been recorded very highly. So Kapushen and other villages. So they gave me, including the names and names of the girls who are thought to have been cut, their parents, the numbers of the area chiefs or assistant chiefs. So what I did is I went straight to the county commissioner's office and I reported the information to him. I shared all the details with him. And the county commissioner went ahead to forward the information to the deputy county commissioner of that South Pokot sub-county. And then he also forwarded me a message that he had written to the deputy county commissioner. That was like early last week. All right. So I've been waiting for feedback. I've been waiting to hear that somebody had been arrested or somebody has been held accountable for that. But by the end of last week, nothing had been done. All right. So at the beginning of this week, I got another phone call from the same village of a girl informing me that her own sister had been cut. And this is a university graduate we're talking about. And she had been forced into the cut.
A
So she was
university
not
graduate
forced.
has been forced
Yeah,
into
not a graduate, but a student.
Yeah.
Second year student.
Yeah.
So the sister who was reporting the information lives in Kapenguria
All right.
or Makutano town.
All right.
So she was really disturbed, and she was desperate, like telling me that, please, I want you to help me rescue my sister, as much as she has had FGM, but she's being hidden, and they snatch her phone.
Yeah.
We cannot trace her, but we are only getting some information from the village that she has been cut.
All right.
And she's being hidden somewhere. We don't even know how to locate her. We need the intervention of the police to locate that girl. So, and then after that, yesterday.
All right, we are losing Domtila. Domtila, we're losing you a little bit.
I got information.
We lost you a little bit, Domtila. Just continue, because it's important to know the chronology of events as you experience them. All right, Tony, I know you've been following up on these cases as well. Do you have any other specific information on this as well?
Thank you so much, Jeremiah, for this special edition show. Allow me to say that, yes, there are multiple sources that are coming from West Pokot County of different cases that are happening in that area.
All right.
And I would like to say that right now the most urgent thing is to make sure that these girls who are reported to be undergoing FGM are safe.
Yeah.
We are aware that at some point the government closed up the rescue centers and safe spaces for girls in different parts of the country because of COVID-19. So we are calling upon the government and the relevant agencies to ensure that we have these girls rescued and put in safe places, because that is the first priority. And then after that, we will be able to follow up for the justice and also to rescue other girls who are at risk of FGM. So the first priority right now is to ensure that those who are at risk of FGM and those who have been cut are rescued and put in safe places.
All right. All right, thank you very much for that. We've lost Domtila for a moment. We'll try to get her back. But before we do that, I'll just give you a small background about what has been reported to us so far. We have 3 hotspot wards, if we have to speak about Pokot right now. We have Tapach, we have Masol, as well as Mosop, where Tapach is over 200 girls, and Domtila will confirm that, as well as Mosol, which has reported cases of over 20, as well as Mosop, which has over 25. And the authorities have been reported, including the anti-FGM board, and little action has been taken so far, despite having been reported for 2 weeks or so before. So we're still following up on this and see what is being done, or these girls actually do not have a place to seek any refuge. Just a short break, and when we come back, we will continue with this conversation. This is the End FGM Live show. It's a special edition today, focusing on Pokot region, where we have lots of reported cases, and that's the conversation we're having today. Remember to tweet and use the hashtag Stop Pokot Mass FGM, and we will be rolling on with that hashtag. So short break. When we come back, we will be going straight into deeper details on this conversation. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back.
Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.
You can hear me, Domtila. Can you hear us, to Domtila? Because we cannot see you now. All right, I think we'll head on with Tony. Tony, West Pokot is a county we once hosted as well, and there have been issues in regards to how people are cooperating in that region. Lots of mass cases reported and the last time we were talking about Tiati in Baringo, we were also talking about people who speak the Pokot language. Now is a time that is very difficult for many people speaking about FGM in these hard-to-reach counties. Where are we in that regard? Basically, are there any more specific? All right, I think we're losing them. I think you just take a short break. When you come back, we'll have brought them back to air. All right, Tony's back here. Tony, do you have any more specific information in regards to FGM and the situation as it is right now in Pokot?
Well, allow me to say that Pokot is a vast county, and the terrain is quite difficult. Also, in some areas which borders, I think, Turkana or the Baringo part, in most of the times there's some conflict in those areas, right, which makes it difficult to access and also do sensitization. I would also like to say that the FGM rates in Pokot are quite high, right, as reported by different agencies. And as Chesang is saying, we have reported cases of mass cutting. And in most cases, what happens is that the authorities will come in and say they need the evidence of the cutting. But the people in the community are there and they're saying that the numbers are going up and the girls are being cut. So what we need right now is to ensure that the first thing that we need to do is to ensure that the girls that are reported to be cut or to be at the risk of FGM are rescued right now from the communities and put in a safe space. Right. And then secondly, I would like to see the stakeholders working in West Pokot County, yeah, coming together and coming up with a plan, because we have big organizations in this county. We have organizations like World Vision. Yeah. We have Action Aid working in this place. We also have the county government itself. So we need to make sure that they work together and come up with a plan of how they're going to ensure that this does not continue, not only at this time of COVID-19, but also going forward after COVID-19.
All right, Tony, we're still trying to add Domtila Chesang, so we'll take a short break. If you are able to hear us, please use the hashtag #EndFGMLive, and we will surely try our best to keep this conversation and try to save these girls' lives as well. So
tune in to the EndFGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EndFGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.
All right, welcome back to the EndFGM Live. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and this show is actually produced by Tony Mwebia, who is on this call. But today we are talking about... So on our screens now, as you can see, you are able to leave your comments and you are also able to just have this conversation. So if you can hear us, please let us know and use the hashtag #StopPokotMassFGM. Let's bring the authorities, let's bring this to attention of authorities, not just from the grassroots, but also from a higher level. This is Jeremiah Kipainoi with Tony Mwebia as well as Domtila Chesang. Domtila is currently in Pokot County. All right, straight to you, Domtila. We were just trying to hear what the chronology of events really is. And you were talking about the cutting, or the mass cutting of girls at this time. And you had earlier mentioned to me over 200 girls in the patch, Mosul, over 20 cases as well as 25 cases or more in Mosop areas, and those are just cases that have been reported within the last 2 weeks. This is curfew time. Is there anything else that you have done to try to bring these cases into to attention? I know you've already talked about going to the commissioner's office and the deputy county commissioner as well being referred to this. The anti-FGM board have this information, but nothing has been done so far. Not at least none that you said is tangible in regards to ending FGM in that region. Where are we at in that regard right now?
Yeah, so I cannot say that nothing has been done, because also as we speak, we have a number of, we have 2 adults, and 1 suspected circumciser, and 2 girls who have had FGM, being escorted to the police station. So I called the chiefs personally. I called the chiefs yesterday from a place called from Mosop location, and I informed them, because after I get information from the community, I make a very quick follow-up. So I called the chief and I told the chief, you have been informed that there have been cases of FGM in your area and you have not taken any action. So I'm just going to give you, before the end of the day, you should be able to bring these people to book. And the chief told me by midday I will give you some information. And true to his word, by midday yesterday, he called to say that he had arrested some people. By last night, as I was going to bed, I received information that he had caught 2 people. So, and they have been taken to the police station. Today, again, I called one of the chiefs from a different area where I had also received case that the FGM had happened. And by around 4 p.m. today, I got information that they'd been arrested and they were at the police station. So I had to call the county commandant to facilitate transportation of the people, because now the problem with West Pokot is that the topography of the areas, accessibility is a big deal. In fact, I just came out of a meeting with the ACCs, or if you like, the Assistant County Commissioners. We've had a whole-day meeting to discuss why are these cases being witnessed across the county, and yet we have all the chiefs and the assistant chiefs, the ACCs, the DCCs. So one of the issues that came out very clearly is the fact that accessibility of the villages. So FGM happens and takes part in the forests. Like for the issue of Kameloi or Tapach ward, we have a forest. That's just like I said, is a border of Pokot and Marakwet. So we have a forest. So these cases happen in the forest. It makes it very difficult even for arrests to be made. So I have been able to reach out to chiefs and, give them even ultimatum and tell them, you need to act. You need to arrest some people, because at least if you do some arrest, it's going to be a lesson to other people. So they've been like a number of arrests. I've been to court personally at the beginning of this week. On Tuesday, I was in court, and I went to request the prosecutor not to give a bond to 1 suspected circumciser that we've been tracking down for a long time. So, and that one was successful because she was denied bond and she was remanded for another 2 weeks. So then I've just been like at the middle of all this that's happening, like trying to follow up on this and that. There was a lady again who was brought to court for cutting girls in parts of Bortum. I was in court yesterday, calling the OCS from the different areas and just making sure that they're aware that I'm following up on those cases, because I don't want any case to be compromised. So I was in court and I made sure that how did that case go on. So like for the case of yesterday, a circumciser from Bortum was given a cash bail of 20,000. I think they were leading to her because she had a baby. So she was given a bond of a cash bail of 20,000. And then she was released yesterday morning from the police remand. And she's supposed to report back on 16th. So what I do, I make sure that I record the cases. Every phone call that is coming through about FGM from the villages, I record the phone conversation. I keep all the text messages. I share them with other stakeholders like the anti-FGM board. I make a report to them. And on the same note, I also, like I told you before, I have shared my personal contact with the community. If you hear any FGM cases, please report to me. So they report to me directly. They give me all the details, including names in locations. And true to their word, when chiefs make follow-up, people are arrested.
All right, I'll just go straight to what is the issue at this time, because we are having this conversation because it seems like, and that's what I got when you reached out to us, is there's nothing being done or there's little being done. What would you want us to, or anyone who's viewing this to do?
So of course, I cannot say that nothing is being done. What is not being done is advocacy is not being done because of coronavirus. Now, what we are doing at the moment is responding to the cases that have already happened, which is very unfortunate because we should be preventing these cases from happening. So, but what I know is that if we if the chiefs or the local leaders are actually held accountable, because they are the ones on the ground. I cannot go to every village today.
Yeah.
We cannot hold workshops. We cannot hold trainings in the community. We cannot hold dialogues because of course, the coronavirus. But what needs to be done is not just to respond to the cases that have already happened, because I'm very much worried. Trust me, this is true from me. It's bad news, and I tell you for free that if coronavirus comes to an end today, we will have very few girls reporting back to school from West Pokot County. Because if one village records over 200 cases of FGM, and you know what, FGM in West Pokot County is directly related to child marriages. As soon as this girl is cut, she is married off. There will be no chance for her going back to school. So, like 1 hour ago, I told you when I was calling you to share this information. 1 hour ago, I got a phone call and I recorded, and I was in the meeting with the ACCs. Somebody telling me that
Assistant County Commissioner.
25 girls have been cut this morning. Yesterday, as I was going to bed, I was getting phone calls from different people. So these are just like reported cases. So you can imagine how many cases have gone unreported. So what needs to be done is I want West Pokot County to be put on the spotlight. That is the very first thing. That, you know, the world is aware, the country is aware, the nation is aware, the president should be aware that FGM is happening in mass, is very rampant in West Pokot County at the moment, so that this should be put to a stop as soon as possible. So I want everybody to play a role. First of all, the authorities should be able to do their job. Activists should be able to make some noise around this issue.
Yeah.
Because I believe that what I'm going through or what I'm actually experiencing at the moment is every other activist responsibility also to ensure that we support each other.
Yeah.
So I'm appealing to everybody watching. There's a talk today that please, I need your support. Let's make noise around this, because these are our girls. They're not just my girls. These are our girls. And we are so concerned that by the end, by the time they'll be supposed to go back to school, we will have no girl going back to school. So I'm worried. Just like people are calling me and asking me, I know you can do nothing about the girls who have already been cut, but can you at least do something for those who have not been cut? Now the question is, what am I supposed to do? So the first thing I can recommend on that is that I know the chiefs have an upper hand. They have the power to at least minimize some of these cases. So the chiefs should be held accountable.
All right.
The very first people that should be held accountable. Like, I went to the county commissioner's office this morning and I was telling him that I don't understand why I have information. You have information. You've given the same information to the deputy county commissioner, but why are the chiefs not bringing people to book? And yet they have the names and they are from these villages. Why can't they make arrests? And yet it's confirmed that FGM is happening in these villages.
Confirmed cases. She says 200 up to 200 in Tapach, over 20 in Mosul, in Mosop over 25, and many more from different sub-counties as well. You talked about the south, but also you got cases from the central part of Pokot. Tony, you were speaking about something in regards to that. You are muted, Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can now hear you.
Okay, let me come in and say a few things. We have just heard of a university student who was cut. We just heard of over 200 girls being cut in one community, in one village. So the question is, what I'm asking myself right now is, are the interventions that we have been doing successful, or what is supposed to happen? What are we supposed to change going forward? Because when we have 200 girls being cut in one village, that's a big number. Also, when we have a university student who we assume is someone who is enlightened and someone who should be able even to be a gatekeeper to the other girls being cut, it shows that we have a big problem in this community that needs to be addressed right now. And what we need to do is to have a multi-sectoral approach. in bringing together all the stakeholders together with the county government and make sure that we are able to rescue these girls. Because I remember very well in most of the shows that we have done, we have a directive from the government whereby safe spaces were closed earlier during COVID-19. So I am just asking myself, what happens when the chiefs go and arrest these people or rescue these girls? What is the national government doing to make sure that the rescue centers are open, all the organizations that are working on ending FGM at the national level, and also the ones who have the resources, are they setting up a safe space for girls in West Pokot? Or what are we doing? Because we need, this is like an emergency appeal. It's just like we are having floods or we are having mudslide or something of the sort. And we need everyone to come on board to ensure that these girls at risk of FGM are saved right now, because it has to happen. Yes, the community is crying out there, and when they continue crying out and they see nothing is being done, then the cutting will continue and more girls are going to be cut. So we need action right now.
We need action right now. I see Watamonde. I hope that you are able to hear us right now. Lots of comments coming in from online. But I just want us to focus on the issue right now. There are girls that are at risk in West Pokot. We know the places where they are at. We know the people who are responsible for it. But we need to make sure that the message actually reaches to them and they are held accountable. And just a small brief about what you're talking about, just in case you're joining us right now. There have been cases reported, FGM cases reported in this area or region in general. And we've had different people actually sharing from different villages to activists on the ground. We've had mass cutting in the last 2 weeks. We've had most cases reported from the south of Pokot, basically South Pokot sub-county. And
yes.
Also Tapach ward is topping the list for now. And so chiefs... the chiefs have been informed. Some of them have taken action, some have not actually, because I remember having a conversation about this so that you know where the root problem is. Domtila, you were talking to me about an issue on chiefs in terms of responsibility.
So, I think you put it very well. That some chiefs have actually taken action. Just like I said, we even have some suspects being brought to the police station as we speak right now. Because I spoke to the chief and I spoke to the county commandant, and the vehicle was sent to pick those who had been arrested. 2 suspected cases of FGM with the victims also on board, and some of the circumstances also on board. So some chiefs.
All right, we lost Domtila. But we
taking action. And,
all right, go on, Domtila. We lost you for a moment.
Yeah, so we're having some chiefs doing their job, but for the case of Tapach ward, there's been no single arrest, and that is what is stopping on the list in terms of the number of cases of FGM. So, and I was at the county commissioner's office this morning, and I heard him. He was calling the DC, because the last directive was given to the DC. That's the deputy county commissioner. That was 2 weeks ago, and he was calling the DC, asked the DC, what is happening? I gave you a list of people who have perpetrated FGM, and I gave you full information. And I tasked you to speak to the chiefs to make arrests, and you bring people to book, and you've done nothing. So what I heard from the county commissioner was you have to do something. Somebody must go home. Those chiefs must be interdicted. So that is action from the county commissioner. But for me, as an activist, I really don't want talks. I don't want people talking or people to make things happen. If it's interdiction, people need to be interdicted. If it is arresting, people need to be arrested. Not talking 2 weeks down the line, nothing has happened. So right now, this is my feeling. If I was to express how I feel right now, I just feel like going to that village, Tapach ward, going to that village right now, and having those chiefs down, the KPR, the Nyumba Kumi, meeting a community and asking them what is wrong with them. Because we've had campaigns on radios. It's not that they have not heard about FGM on radios. We've had campaigns on social media. We've had campaigns in the communities. As much as we have not been able to go to Tapach ward, but we've been to other places next to or nearby. So does it mean that everything we've done for all this time, all the other agents of West Pokot County, we've done nothing? Does that mean we've done zero work? So it's very frustrating for an activist. And again, just sitting here and imagining what is going on. And you can imagine as an activist, when people call you, it's because they believe you can do something. And then when you feel like your hands are tied, you see, I can't go to the villages. I have no vehicle to use. because the terrain of the area, you need a four-wheel vehicle, well-built vehicle to access these areas. But again, you need to be there. But what are you supposed to do when you can't do that?
All right. And you said that the radio station took up these cases as well.
Yes, they did. It was reported on radio. I even I personally made a recording. I made an interview, not a recording. I did an interview with the radio stations, and I shared the information after I went to the county commissioner. So it's been on media, highlighted on media. But surprisingly, after Tapach, now there's been now an explosion in the other areas. Like Masol Ward, for example, I got information from 3 people yesterday from Masol Ward, different parts of Masol Ward, Amoler, Akula, Nyangaita this morning. So it's just crazy, I can tell you.
All right. You reported to the anti-FGM board as well?
I did a report, a detailed report to the anti-FGM board CEO, who promised that she was going to forward the same information to the interior.
Was it done?
And yes, I believe it was done, because when I met the county commissioner this morning, he was informing me that he has already received some information from above. So I assume that was part of it.
All right. A second-year student has been forcefully taken away. Her phone has been taken away, and Tony had earlier talked about this. Who forced them? Is it the parents?
So before that case, the sister called me that this is a second-year university student who's married in parts of Tapach. She's married there. So the sister received information that her sister had been cut. So she was forced. She was confidently telling me that the sister was against FGM, but she was being forced by the mother of the husband and the husband. They are the one who have aided the FGM campaign, including taking her to the circumciser and snatching away her phone. So they cannot access her sister where she is, but they know that she was not for FGM. So she's been forced into FGM. The same for the same story for the Form 2 girl that I talked about. It's still the same sister who called me yesterday, and even she wrote a very sad message saying that I know you can do nothing about the one who has been cut, but I just beg you, please do something for those who have not been cut. That was last night. I have the message. I can forward it to you. So somebody's appealing to you to do that. Please do something for those who have not been cut.
The hashtag is Stop Pokot Mass FGM. Please tweet, use it on Facebook, and we will be able to keep this message going. Also remember to tag the relevant authorities, the police, as well as the department responsible for FGM. That's basically the anti-FGM board. And let's rally this till those who are perpetrating this are brought to book, as well as the girls being saved in that regard. Tony, we have a challenge here where the girls are being protected, not just by community members who believe that this is part of the culture, but people who have been tasked by the authority, because we've talked about chiefs who are actually not responding to a mass number of cutting of girls within their jurisdiction. Why do you think this is the case, if you look at it from where you sit?
Thank you so much, Jeremiah, for that. Allow me to be the devil's advocate and say this. For us to end FGM, which is a social norm, we need to create a critical mass of people who believe that this social norm needs to end. So if the prevalence of FGM in these villages is very high as 90-something%, and as we are hearing right now, we have mass cutting in these villages, then the best we can do is to continue sensitization of these girls in this sensitization of the communities in this area to ensure that even the chief and the authorities themselves are not overwhelmed at a time like now.
Yeah.
This does not mean that we are not supposed to act on the girls who are at risk of FGM right now. And also, I would like to say that even the ones that have been cut needs assistance right now, because they are undergoing psychological trauma themselves, like the university student who was forced to undergo FGM, and she was not willing. She was forced. She was abducted. Yeah. The phone has been taken away from her. She is undergoing psychological trauma right now. So we need also to make sure those ones who have been cut also needs to be rescued from wherever the community is hiding them. So this paints a bigger picture of what we have been saying. And I would like to repeat this. Laws alone cannot end FGM, but what we need to do is ensure that the community is well sensitized and everyone is willing and understands why we are saying FGM is an harmful cultural practice. Because at the end of the day, yes, what do we do? Sometimes I'm putting myself in the shoe of a chief right now. I'm not saying that the authorities are not supposed to act, but I'm putting myself in the shoe of a chief in whose village 200 girls have been cut. What can I do as a chief in that village? That simply means that I need higher authority. I need the county commissioner. I need the national government. I need the anti-FGM board. The president spoke and said that he wants to end FGM in Kenya by 2022. What support is given to these chiefs? Do they have enough police officers to be able to raid these communities and arrest these people? Or it's just a chief going to do the arrest himself? So there are so many things that come into play here, and the chiefs need support from all the way from above coming down. We also need technical support from the national government and the county government to ensure that people are able to visit these places. As Chesang is saying, the terrain is a difficult one. We need organizations to be provided security to go into these places and fact find on what is happening at this moment. So we cannot just speak. We need to mobilize. We need everyone to come on board and ensure that action is done on the ground. That is what I feel right now.
Wow. To Chesang, right now, I know we've had this conversation before. The police, yes, we task the chiefs. Chiefs are part of the community. Actually, most of the chiefs are actually appointed from the community. Looking at where we are at, is our intelligence as well failing us that these girls, we do not know that these girls are going to be cut?
Is our interest, sorry?
Is our intelligence, like the Department of basically intelligence?
No. It's not completely. It has no clue because it's not a point of interest. And like I said, I don't think even it's being treated as an essential issue at the moment. That is why you rarely get information that girls might be cut tomorrow. All you get is that girls have been cut. And this is just from the community members. And I agree with you, Tony, on the fact that we need to sensitize, we need to up our game. But again, we are talking about an emergency situation. Yes. And maybe just to explain to you that the cases of FGM have been reported mainly because at the moment, the current situation of FGM in West Pokot County is as a result of the hopelessness created by coronavirus. So this is not like a very patient community. So the fact that there's no communication in terms of, is there hope for girls going back to school in the next 2 weeks, the next 1 month, the next 1 year? Now that there's no such communication. So the community have taken the laws in their own hands and create their own survival ways. So there's poverty, people don't have food. So guys are just opting for shortcuts, cut the girls. And then one thing I also wanted to highlight is the fact that there are rampant cases of teenage pregnancies, witnessed across the county. I don't know about other counties, but they are on the rise in West Pokot County. So my community believe that when a girl has been cut, when a girl has been made pregnant, she loses her value. So she no longer fetch dowry that she was supposed to fetch. So the community are actually prefer to cut the girl so that she can get married instead of getting pregnant. So they have had to choose between the two: the girls to stay at home and get pregnant, or the girls to be cut and be married off. All these are contributing to FGM, but all is because of coronavirus.
So
because it's a holiday that was not expected. FGM never happens this time of the year in West Pokot normally, or in Pokot community normally, but because of coronavirus, which has created a conducive environment for FGM to thrive, because people are living, in a state of hopelessness. Nobody knows when coronavirus is coming to an end. There's no communication in the villages. So guys have just had to come up with their own rules.
Short break. We'll add Tony. When we come back, we'll be talking about what next. Stay tuned.
Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.
Sana. And I start off with Tony. Tony, there was something that you were saying before we lost you, before we went for a break.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Something I need to say is this. We just heard from Chesang that, yes, she reported to the anti-FGM board, and then anti-FGM board now talks to the county police officers and everything. So I am seeing something here. Do we need an anti-FGM unit at the county levels? Because why do we need to be reporting to Nairobi and then Nairobi speaking to the counties? And then I believe it becomes easier for them to follow up if the authority lies at the county level. It becomes easier if we decentralize this anti-FGM board and we have a unit that is responsible, or a prosecutor or a specific police unit that is responsible for FGM in every county. It becomes easier for the people within the county to reach out to them and follow up with them on daily basis and on timely basis, other than just reporting to Nairobi and then Nairobi calling back to the same county, and then the follow-up begins from there. I don't know. I feel like we need to improve the way we are doing.
We're going round in this issue.
Yes, we need action within the county itself. Who is responsible at the county level? We have the county children's officer. Is he responsible for this? What is the children department doing, which has offices within every county? Does it work on ending FGM itself? Is FGM an issue for the children's officers? Because they're in every district or every sub-county. And also at the county level, it's devolved. And the anti-FGM is not devolved. So how is the government, different government agencies, how are they working together to ensure that there is smoothness in response of such like activities? Because I'm seeing a situation whereby we are missing some, we are missing something. Yes.
All right. I want us to talk about what next right now, because we want to bring this to a close right now. What next right now? Because, and I'll just explain why I'm saying this. I once did a podcast with a lady who said that she believes that there should be no law actually against FGM, because FGM should be termed as child abuse, and child abuse should not be even as an excuse by creating other policies and other laws as well. And we are now standing here talking about the contribution of the county government, the national government as well. But when you look at it now, it's an emergency situation. Everyone wants to say it's the chiefs. Everyone wants to say it's the county commissioner. The activists as well sometimes feel that they are alone in this. Where are we in regards to basically seeking justice to these children? Is there even any possibility in Pokot right now? Because we need drastic measures at this time, if that's the case. Domtila.
I think we need an emergency response in West Pokot County to, in fact, respond to the issue at hand. For the issues at hand, that is what we need right now, an emergency intervention. I do not expect anti-FGM board to just make phone calls and and leave it at that. I don't expect like the county commission to just make phone calls and leave it at that. We need to do more than just making phone calls. I make phone calls and I go to my pocket and I send even transport to some of the KPR. Please, if you must go and arrest.
Kenya Police Reservists is KPR.
The police service, yeah, the NPR, they call it National Police Service at the moment. So the problem is, people know what it takes to end FGM. These people have been tasked with the responsibility of ending FGM. Understand, they have the resources, the government have the resources. They know the measure, they know what it takes, what it is needed to eradicate FGM. But why are we going round? Like at the moment, I've reported to the highest authority of the FGM issue, that's the anti-FGM board. I was expecting them to come back to me and say, Domtila, what can we do? Apart from reporting the case back to my county, they should be like, what can we do? Because what needs to be done is for us to go to the villages. We need to reach out to these villages where cases of FGM have been reported. We need to sit down with the local leadership of these areas and ask and understand why are these cases being reported yet. We've come a long way as a community. So people need to be coming out and asking, what can we do? How can we support? Because I was in a meeting today with the ACCs, and they were telling me they also have their own challenges. They were saying that a girl will call you from 70 kilometers away or 200 kilometers away saying she's in need of she needs to be rescued. She needs to be rescued. But how do you get there when we don't even have vehicles? The ACCs have no vehicles. Those are the ACCs. They have no vehicles. Mm-hmm. Like for the case of North Pokot, for example, there's only one vehicle, which is in Kacheliba, which serves the entire, almost the whole of West Pokot County. So you can imagine calling a vehicle from Kacheliba to go all the way to Kasai, up in the hills where abduction cases are being reported at the moment. So the same government understand the challenges that are being experienced. That is why I'm saying what needs to be done next is for people who have been tasked or whose mandate is to eradicate FGM or to protect children from abuse, coming out and saying, we have received these cases of FGM. We have received these reports of FGM. What can we do? This is what we can do. These are vehicles, government vehicles. Go to those villages. You are on the ground, go to those vehicles. Take that GK, go to those villages. I'm an activist. That is my job. Just facilitate me to go to those villages. I will do it myself. I'll meet those chiefs myself. You understand? So not making another phone. I can make phone call. Don't do what I can do. Help me to facilitate me to move me from one point A to point B. Like for the case of Chapach, there's very high cases of insecurity in that area. So you sometimes even the chiefs fear. How do you go to a forest looking for people who are hiding in a forest? That calls for the national government to intervene because even security is very important.
All right.
And one last thing, Jeremiah, just on a lighter note, as we are on this call right now, I'm getting text messages coming through on my phone from some of the chiefs who went to arrest to make some arrests today in the villages, saying, please, I'm with NPR here. We use border borders. We have to pay the border borders. So they're coming back to me. Nobody has given me any money. So please, I want the two of you to help me figure out who is supposed to facilitate NPR and chiefs to go and make arrests in the forests.
Difficult question. Tony, you have something to say as we bring this to a close.
Yes, thank you so much, Chesang, for bringing that up. I strongly believe that there is a big disconnect between what is happening at the national government and us saying that we are ending FGM by the year 2022 and the actual work that needs to be happening on the ground. Because if we do not have the fuel vehicles for the government vehicles to go and rescue girls in the community, if we do not have the children officers tasked, I feel like the children officers should be the people who should be at the forefront in the fight against FGM, because FGM is child abuse. So it's a violation of the basic human rights of the children. So we need the children officers to be able to have a budget. We need the police officers to be able to fuel the vehicles to go and do the rescue. So can the government tell us where is the money to do all this? Because we cannot just be sitting here and making phone calls and saying that we have called the county commissioner, and the county commissioner just sits down in the office, calls the chief. The chief has no resources to go and do this. So I feel that we need to...
back.
Yeah, it comes back again, and nothing is done at the end of the day. And 200 girls have been cut. Yes, many more are going to be cut. So we need to stop it at this moment, and we need to make sure that we see action. What I was expecting now that the anti-FGM board has been called in and the county government is now aware of what is happening, I was expecting the anti-FGM board to call up other stakeholders if they do not have the resources. The ministry itself, the Ministry of Gender, I'm expecting it to call UNFPA, UNICEF, and other big partners and tell them, this is what is happening in West Pokot. Can we have vehicles there? Can we mobilize through our partners who are there to make sure that rescues are being done, not just making a phone call and saying that go and check what is happening? And because we need action. That is what we need right now. The girls are suffering.
And at the end of the day, it's everybody's responsibility. It's not it's not only the chief's responsibility. Everybody's responsibility. Yeah.
And I feel like it's being very unfair to a chief. After all, yes, I know chiefs are supposed to do their work, but sometimes it become unfair to them because we overreact sometimes. Where were we when 200 girls were being cut? Now all of a sudden we are putting all the pressure to one chief and telling them you are the one who is responsible for that. What tactical? I just asked something. Do these chiefs even have police officers attached to them, or the police reservists?
Yeah.
Do they
Good
have
question. Good question, Tony. And on top of that, do the chiefs have resources even to create awareness? Because before you can hold somebody accountable, you expect that you gave this person money or resources to create awareness, and they didn't do it, or they did it, and nothing has been done. So I agree with you.
Yeah. So basically, let's make the noise. Let's call upon the authorities. Let's mobilize the stakeholders within the county. I know we have organizations like World Vision in that county. I know we have Action Aid in that county. They have the budget. If they don't have the budget, let them call their donors and whoever. let's call the government upon. Let's them provide the money. Let's have the resources.
Yep.
Let's mobilize. Let's save the girls. Let's have a temporary rescue center for these girls, and let's take care of all of them. Yes.
Yeah, to us, a rescue center, because I know there are so many girls who are now living in fear. Girls are calling me saying, "Wanahandwa." How do you put that in English?
They're being hunted.
Ambushed.
They are being ambushed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's like being ambushed. Wanatafutwa, wanahandwa yani na wanaume kwa community to be abducted. So, but when they call me, I have nowhere to put them. I call the DC or the ACC. The girl is burned. She's put in a chief's house. For how long can the chief host a girl in his house? So it's really a difficult time for all of us. So to us, a rescue center, an emergency or an urgent rescue center or a safe space for girls. There are so many buildings that are open at the moment. We have schools, we have boarding schools that we can just, establish one of them and equip one of them, and it can act as a temporary rescue center. And another ask is for resources to be able to respond to these issues, go to the villages, catch awareness in places where MGM has been reported, because we know these places. Just to ask.
Thank you. We bring this to a close. Please continue with this conversation online. We will be using the hashtag #StopPokotMassFGM. Stop Pokot. The P's are two. Stop Pokot Mass FGM, and we'll be talking about these issues in this and coming days. We'll also be updating you on how the progress is as days go by. This is the NFGM Live together with Tony Mwebi and Antonia Sophia. We make sure that this show goes on every single day. Today we were in West Pokot, and our producer Tony Mwebi is actually with us, as well as Domtila Chesang, who is currently in West Pokot on the ground, and basically has been receiving cases against about FGM happening en masse in Pokot County. I have to say goodbye right now, but keep the hashtag going. Stop FGM Pokot. Stop Pokot Mass FGM, sorry. And we will be having this conversation furthering from this day. Stay safe and make sure that you add your voice. Kwaheri.
Tune in to the NFGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at NFGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.